For months, the readiness of political parties to canvass for votes for their candidates. Let's talk to Ayobami Oyalowo, who is a member of the APC. He joins us live via Zoom. Also, we'll be having Kola Ologbodiyan, a former PDP National Publicity Secretary, join us in our Abuja studios. But at the moment, we'll begin with you, Mr. Oyalowo. This is a day different parties have looked forward to, and one would have thought that the APC on a day like this would hit the ground running. But your party has postponed campaigns indefinitely. What is responsible for this, and how do you hope to reclaim lost ground?
Good evening. We did not postpone campaigning indefinitely. It was the inauguration of the campaign council that was postponed. So let's try and get it correctly.
But if the campaign council, Mr. Oyalowo, if the campaign council has not been inaugurated, how then does the exercise kick off?
Exercise has kicked off, and you saw the press release signed by the candidate himself today, telling us that we can start. So campaign is not about just our candidate alone. It's about every one of us pulling our weight on their behalf and on the behalf of every other candidate. We are aware that we are not just focusing on the presidential election alone. We have the Senate election, the House of Reps, the state houses of assembly, and the governors, the gubernatorial election. So there are a lot of elections and a lot of positions that we'll be looking at. So we are not, we have, like you already posited, it's going to be the longest campaign session. So, and there is a Yoruba adage that says that the masquerade that rushes to dance first will eventually become a spectator at the end of the matter. So whoever wants to rush can rush, whoever wants to run can run. We will take it the way we should take it, and we will, like our candidate rightly said, we will speak a lot to the people, show them what the track records are, let them see that we have the ability to deliver on our track record, on our promises, and everything that will be said. We will not just come to Nigerians with sophistry and a lot of hot airs. Rather, it's going to be strictly based on issues. We want to focus on an issue-based campaign.
Indeed, Mr. Oyalowo, there have been growing calls for these campaigns to actually be issue-based. And talking about that, what actually is the manifesto of the APC going into the general elections?
If you have been following the event, Mr. Bayo Onuga has already told you journalists and the entire Nigerians that we'll be releasing our manifesto any moment from now. So let's just take it easy. The manifesto will, if it doesn't come out this week, probably maybe next week. I don't want to give a date, I don't want to be quoted because I'm not exactly sure when, but I have 100% information that it's ready. It's just crossing the T's and dotting the I's that is left. So it will be out in no time, and Nigerians will now see these are the promises and the plans. And we will not just tell them what the problems are, we will tell them what we think the solutions are, and not just what the solutions are, the way we intend to go about it. So those are very critical things that Nigerians have to question, that, okay, these are the problems, you have enumerated them. How do you intend to solve it? So those are the issues that we will be presenting to Nigerians in the coming weeks. We have 5 whole months, so there's nothing to rush. We have 36 states to cover and 777 local governments. So there is ample time for this election, for this campaign to hold. So we are not rushing, we're not under any pressure whatsoever. We will reach every nooks and cranny of Nigeria within the months available before February 27, when the election will be held.
Part of the APC has been at the helm of affairs these past 7 years, since 2015. As a Nigerian and, of course, a party member, how would you say the APC has fared?
I didn't hear the first part of your question.
I was talking about the fact that you should look at this issue as a party member and then as a Nigerian who is experiencing what the average Nigerian should actually be experiencing at the moment. How would you say your party, the APC, has fared these past 7 years in delivering its campaign promises?
My worries about the way you guys frame your question is that you try to make it look like Nigeria is in another planet. The entire world, how has the world fared in comparison to the entire globe? We had COVID, we have not recovered from COVID. We are having a war that is not ending. As I speak to you in the history of, since I was born and I am aware, the pounds have always had more value than the dollars. I hope you go and find out what is going on in that area. So the entire world has an issue that they are facing.
Mr. Oyalowo, I'm afraid I need to interrupt you very quickly because I need to bring in Mr. Kola Ologbodiyan. Remember, I introduced him at the beginning of this interaction. He joins us now from our Abuja studios. Mr. Ologbodiyan, thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Your party, the PDP, has just inaugurated the campaign council. What is your manifesto for the 2023 elections?
Well, thank you very much for bringing me in. I want to clearly state that among the arrays of the candidates contesting the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar is one candidate that has come out with operable promises, with promises that address the issues. And what are these promises? One, he has spoken to the issue of unifying the country. As a matter of fact, it is known on the streets and everywhere in the country that the nation has never been this divided. So he comes with a plan to unite the country. He has also spoken to the issue of insecurity. Before the PDP left office in 2015, insecurity had been forced to the fringes of the Northeast. But today, virtually in every geopolitical zone in our nation, we find the situation of insecurity, maiming, killings, kidnapping, robbery, you just name it. He's also looked at the issue of education, and he is of the opinion that we need to remodel our educational system. And if you look at the issue of restructuring, he wants devolution of power from the center to the state and possibly local government. His desire is to strengthen the states. He looked at the issue of power, which is a major problem in our country. Because the moment we're able to resolve the issue of power, everybody can live their lives and do their businesses and run their states. So he said that he wants to take away the issue of power from where it is located in the Constitution and bring to the concurrent part of the Constitution, from the exclusive part to the concurrent part. So if you look at the proposals brought forward by Atiku Abubakar, he's the only candidate as we speak.
As we hold this interaction, we also have a member of the APC, Mr. Ayobami Oyalowo, who is equally joining us in this conversation. And taking you up on some of the things you've said, you mentioned that the priority is unifying the country. You've also spoken about restructuring and power, but these are some of the issues that were there when the PDP held sway for 16 years, 1999 through 2015. And at the moment, talking about unity, there are cracks within the ranks of the PDP. Talk about River State Governor Nyesom Wike and his camp, who are aggrieved with some developments within the party. How do you hope to unify the country when your party doesn't seem to have it all together?
Well, what I can tell you is that the People's Democratic Party is a family, and we are united as a family. Like I always love to say, we have discomforting disagreements within the party, and the party is taking every step that is required and necessary to ensure that we have one harmonized family before the election. Mind you, the election is not going to happen today. It will not happen tomorrow. The election is February 2023. And within this gap, we have enormous time to put all the issues behind us and continue to move forward. I want to tell you, and I want you to take this as a fact, even in the areas that we are talking about, efforts are being made to reconcile issues and to ensure that we go into the election as a family. You said, you also spoke to the issue that, some of the problems that I listed have been in existence since 1999 to 2015. Oh, absolutely. Some are correct. And you will know, and you must agree with me, that the APC came into office on the three-pronged promises that it is coming to fight corruption, it was coming to revitalize the economy, and it was coming to fight insurgency. There is no aspect of our lives in these three areas, within the three-pronged promises, that has not been shattered as we speak, as far as the country is concerned. So if Atiku came around and said that, look, he wants to take power from the exclusive list and bring it to the concurrent list, so that private individuals who have the resources can come and invest in the power sector, just like he did in the telecommunication when he was vice president.
All right, Mr. Ologbodiyan, I get your point, but then there are some concerns. The inauguration, it's been widely reported actually that some governors allegedly did not attend that gathering. What does this portend for your party going into next year's polls?
The election, I'll just go back to what I just said, that we will resolve all issues. There were governors, for instance, yesterday in Enugu State, when Atiku Abubakar and his vice presidential candidate, Ifeanyi Okowa, visited Enugu. Governor Ifeanyi hosted them. Governor of Abia State sent a representation by his deputy, and you could see that Enugu was a bang by what happened yesterday. So maybe the governors having participated, like Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, having participated in the process yesterday, he could take a rest. If we talk about Governor Wike, who didn't come, Governor Wike just came back from a foreign trip, and Governor Otom, who didn't come. Well, all these issues are being dealt with within the party. And I want to assure you, and truly assure Nigerians, that one thing that the PDP will do is to go into this election as a united family. All right,
let me go to Mr. Oyalowo, who is speaking for the APC. Let me just make this point. Mr. Ologbodiyan, I'm afraid that's too much we'll be able to take from you at this point. Let me quickly go to Mr. Oyalowo. It's 5 months to the elections. What should Nigerians expect from your party, the APC? You've heard the PDP member there reeling out what he believes his party is set to do.
Well, what Nigerians should expect is right now, power situation has improved tremendously, and from all indications, it's even going to get better. We were unfortunate to have inherited a badly managed privatization of power, which took it away from the government. However, the government still had to see what they can do so that Nigerians will stop suffering from the $16 billion that was spent to buy darkness for Nigeria, $16 billion. So right now, as I speak with you, a lot of things are going on in the power sector, a lot is going on in the agricultural sector, and more will go on. In fact, Lagosians, if they've been watching the news, they will see new rails coming in, all because of the APC state government in Lagos State. So a lot is going to come through. In the agricultural sector, I see a situation where we'll have more ability to balance the value chain more and ensure that Nigerians are not just fed. We will stop importing raw materials. Rather, we will have finished agro-allied industries here to add value to our agricultural chain. And then also the challenges of a subsidy will be better managed when the private refineries finally come on stream next year. I think about 2 of them will come on. One in Lagos from the Dangote refinery, and the other one in Samad in Akwa Ibom. So a lot of good things are going to happen from next year when this the new administration take over from this current one that has been doing tremendously well.
All right, Mr. Oyalowo.
You also observe security.
Mr. Oyalowo, that's too much to be able to take from you. I must sincerely appreciate you for joining us. Mr. Oyalowo is the member of the All Progressives Congress, Ayobami Oyalowo. Thank you very much for joining us at this time. And Kola Ologbodiyan, former National Publicity Secretary and member National Executive Committee of the PDP. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on TVC News at 7.